Today I'm tying chironomids and I want to show you a couple variations. This is a really simple thread-based chironomid that works really well for me. It is very simply just red and black thread with clear cure goo hydro. So we're going to start off, I'm using MFC hooks today, but we're using a long shanked hopper hook, 14 to 18. And a bead probably close to correct size for the hook. We're going to use 2.8 millimeter white beads today. So I'm going to start off by loading that onto the hook. And one little trick with this stuff, when you're working with a lot of clear cure goo of any kind, you really want to not touch it for about 24 hours. It has a resin that needs to come off, and if you touch it with your fingers it'll cloud. So I use a piece of styrofoam or a styrofoam cup to remove it from the vise. So I'm going to start off by wrapping some 8/0 red thread, uni thread. You could probably use 6/0 as well. And I'm just going to wrap it down the shank of the hook using the tag as a guide. And I'm going to go all the way down a little bit past the barb. It's not really critical, and you can sort of adjust it. But one of the things I'm going to do is I'm actually spinning the bobbin clockwise, which is going to flatten my thread out. So to take the spin out of my thread, I'm going to rotate it forward. So I just take my fingers and I twist them right here. So I'm just going to twist it and let my bobbin spin till I can visually, I'll start to see it flatten out. Some guys will use their thumb to watch it flatten out, but I just try and get, for every, it's a 1-to-1 ratio, so for every 10 wraps you take, you need 10 revolutions as it comes out of it. And then I'm going to work it back up. Just build that body up again. I'm going to spin my thread, which you can't see because I'm doing that off camera. Because every time we make a wrap, it's actually building a bind in that thread, which causes it to not lay down flat. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some black 6/0 and I'm going to lay that down. Just going to tie it in. Probably a million different ways that you could do this, but I'm going to put that in my materials holder. Make sure I wrap down my, and again I'm going to work my way back, flattening out my thread as I go. Try and keep that on top of the hook. I'm going to go a little bit further so I'm getting a nice taper. And then I'm going to slowly work my way back up, getting a full coverage all the way up. Again, flattening my thread out. If you overshoot a little bit, you can back it off. Then I'm going to go up to the head, and I'm just going to tie a couple of whip finishes. You could or a couple of half hitches. You could also whip finish it. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my thread out of my materials holder, and I'm just going to slowly wrap this up with ever increasing spaces. And that's really all there is to it. You could actually fish this just like that, but it would probably fall apart. And then I'm going to build a little bit of a tapered head. This is probably the most simple chironomid you can do. And one of the real secrets to it is the clear cure goo. And the head length, I like to keep it fairly short with a nice taper until it's about up to the bead, or just shy of the bead. I'm going to take my final spin out of my thread here until I get a nice flat, and then I'm going to come in with my whip finish tool, and I'm just going to taper it on down so I have a nice tapered head. I'm going to come in and cut as close as I possibly can, as with the clear cure goo any excess fuzz will stick out through. So here's really the key to this fly, is we're going to come in and take our clear cure goo hydro, and we're just going to lightly lay in that first layer and let it absorb. This first layer is really just to set things in place. And I like to look at it with sort of a side profile so I can see how it's coming in. This is also a place where I use my bodkin quite a bit, just to make sure that we've got everything straightened out. And once that is, I'm going to come in with my light, and I'm just going to spin this. I tend to count in my head about 10 seconds. I'm going to come back in with more clear cure. And again, this has a resin on it. It's sort of an interesting thing to work with. I've been playing around with some various versions of this where you can actually do this same fly where you do the black after you've laid down a couple of coats of resin. It works as well. Preferably you would wait 24 hours though, because it gets very, very slick while it still has that resin on it. And again, I've got a little bit of a incorrect taper, so I'm just going to adjust it until I like the way that it's sitting. As soon as it's there, I'm going to spin it. And this is actually pretty good at this point. I'm just going to do one more taper at the head. There's no flash in this. You could do flash. I do a version of this where I do, you could do a flash, a wrap. You could also do flash up the rear of the fly. There's really no rules on what you can and can't do on these. But I like creating that hollow see-through body that you can do with the clear cure here, so I just have a nice taper. You can kind of mold it on there. Just take your time. You should build really bomber flies. It's really simple. I don't know why everybody teaches people to tie more complex flies when they could just tie one of these out of the gate and go catch some pretty good sized fish. Great lake pattern. This is a staple in my box. I usually run 24 to 48 of these in various sizes. Hope you enjoyed.